Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I'm Sami, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well, hope your weekend's going great. We're going to talk about the market, we're going to talk about crypto. So stick around. First, a disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, be sure to get my free ebook. Link for that is in the description. If you find benefit in today's video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions, leave a comment or reach out info@t3live.com, okay? Email us info@t3live.com. Okay, let's talk about the market first and then we'll get to crypto next. So the market had a pretty tight pattern on the hourly chart going into the Jay Powell, whatever speech that he gave. And it looked pretty good opportunity to actually short. I mean, it just looked really clear that we were going to roll over. We didn't just roll over, we gapped down the next day. We rolled over that day, which was Thursday, and then on Friday, so this is Thursday right here, we rolled over a little bit, and then on Friday we gapped down and sold off pretty hard. And now the market is pretty sloppy, so we almost closed the gap on the Qs. The market is still overall long-term bullish, but the problem with it is that it got sloppy, and then the other problem is that I don't think this is going to get taken out anytime soon. That's the other problem. But overall, long term, the market is absolutely bullish, and I would expect this rally to, this sell-off to get bought. Now, do I know whether we're going to, whether we bottomed already and then from here on out higher, or do I know, do I think we're going to retest the prior low? That I don't know. That's number one. Number two, I don't know how easy it's going to be to take this out. I don't think it's going to be that easy. Okay? And then number three is we don't know what Nvidia is going to do, and that's going to be the main catalyst going into next week. Nvidia is reporting earnings, I think, on Wednesday after the close. It looks good. I would have liked it, appreciated it if it had stayed above the 20, but it, as you can see, it's like breaking a little bit the 20. We have a pretty big top above. That's not a good sign, right? So it would have, if it would have come pulled back from a V pivot like over here into earnings, amazing, right? So we'll see how Nvidia looks going into earnings, but I think probably higher, not lower. But I won't be able to tell until Wednesday before the close, because it reports after the close. So we'll see. The bias is mildly bullish going into the week. Okay, mildly bullish. Long term, still bullish, but got very sloppy. Not a tight uptrend anymore. If you look at the SPY, actually looks a little bit better than the Qs, but the same thing, rounded top. The IWM, good spot to look to play long. I mean, it's sitting at support basically. That's a good spot to look to play long. So again, my bias is going to be mildly to moderately bullish for the week. All right. In terms of the daily watch list, I don't have the best daily watch list this time around. But here's some ideas. I like ARK. ARK already an open position in the newsletter because of the transition on the monthly chart. So I think ARK has bottomed. Now we have a pullback. That's pretty nice. It would be better if we get one more red bar, I think. But if we don't, one can play it over 53.85 with a stop under, I would say $52 instead of this bar's low. I'd give it to probably 52, and the entry is still the same, over 53.85. BABA and the China stocks might be bottoming, might be catching a bid soon, because we had a big drop into an area where it actually broke out from, as you can see. Okay, slightly above it. And then it put in a pretty kind of big red bar on Friday. I bought some already, but I'd like to see The rest of the China market bottom. The yen, similar concept, you know, back down to where it broke out from. The CWeb, even better, right at the 200. So interesting China, the China market. I like the BABA, but there's a few more that I also will be watching for the week. BCOV, BCOV, and SGHC, and one more, which is, I don't know which one it is. There's one more. It's basically more or less a weekly 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the Planet Fitness. A weekly 1, 2, 3. So check out the weekly chart. So we have the, this is not really a 1, 2, 3 because this bar didn't stay within the range of the igniting bars range. So this doesn't actually qualify as a 1, 2, 3. I thought it was, but anyways, it looks higher. Here's the Planet Fitness. It is a 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3 is when you have a base, an igniting bar, and a narrow range bar that stays in the upper third of the first bar's range. So this is a classic 1, 2, 3 pattern. Long stop. Okay. This is more suitable for longer term trading because this is off the weekly chart and it's a big stop. SGHC, the same thing, though the initial bar here is too big, I think. And I don't think it has that much room before it gets to that resistance area in the form of the 200 MA. So, you know, these are some ideas, but again, they're not the best I've ever seen. The CORZ, we were in it from way back, okay, like somewhere here. We had 2 positions in it. Trailed it out under 1650, was it? I thought, yeah, 1650. This bar is low. It still looks good, and Bitcoin looks good. Okay, so CORZ has a buy setup over that bar's high, but I'm not quite ready to get back into the CORZ. Ethereum probably looks better. So that's ETHU. That's actually the leveraged Ethereum ETF. Here's Ethereum. Here's the Ethereum ETF. Same picture. So I like the ETHU more because there's no spread, and after the close in the post market, it also trades without any spread. That's why I like it more. In case I decide to get out of it or whatever, in the post market, I can trade this in the post market without having to absorb that wide spread that we see on the ETHE. Long over 750, stop under $7 or 710. If we look at the Bitcoin stocks, or I mean cryptocurrency, Solana broke out this weekend. I mean, actually was last night is when it broke out, about 175 coins. But we'll see. It looks good. Stop is pretty wide initially. It's not too late. It's a little bit late by like $9. So I like it. Bitcoin is not a good time to get in it. It's way extended, but it's staying at the high, so that's a good sign. That's bullish. And then Ethereum has pulled back, so this would be better than Bitcoin to get in. Not because it's more bullish than Bitcoin, but because at least it has some kind of a setup. In this case, it is a buy setup. So one can play Ethereum, the actual crypto, or the ETF. Okay, the actual crypto over this bar's high, about 3,200. Stop under probably 3,000. I don't know what that bar's low is. That's $3,012. So under 3. So it's about a $200 stop. And Solana, as I said, broke out last night, but it's not too late. It's really, really bullish. Okay, so just a little bit about crypto. Back to the watches. HBI looks nice. Very nice gap that day. And it's looking higher now on the daily chart. It's not a perfect setup, unfortunately, but entry would be over 828. Stop under 782. Okay. On the HBI, OPRA is a buy setup, way up already, but it's a clean buy setup over 1840 with a stop under 1773. Planet Fitness, we talked about it. Only if it takes off the highs with a stop all the way down here. It's a big stop, so only suitable for long-term trading. This is a much tighter stop and a better pattern on the daily chart, but I don't think it has that much more room to go on the weekly time frame. On the SGHC, the AT&T, remember I talked about it multiple times. We played it multiple times this year. It looks good. It looks good as a breakout right here over the highs, whatever the highest point is. stop right here. Ideally, you want to put the stop under the major pivot, which is here, but that makes the stop pretty large. So that's the issue with it. But I do like it higher. Wells Fargo and the rest of the banks are just really, really bullish. So if you look at Wells Fargo, hourly chart looks higher. Broke out late in the day on Friday, but still not too late. If you want something like Wells Fargo or some of the other banks, Goldman Sachs, they're all breaking out. And then WISA. I hope one day I'll be wise enough to play the WISA. It looks good, higher. It actually broke out already on Friday by just a couple cents. So that's 216, that's I think 218. So I would say over 220 long with a stop. I'm gonna open up the chart a little bit. With a stop under maybe 175. Let's see what, yeah, 175 is enough, I think. So over 220, stop under 175, target at least $3, at least. So that's my bullish watch list. The bearish watch is slightly better. The BYON under the base, pretty tight base, under the base, stop above 670. So under 595, stop 671. EPIX looks really pretty. I don't know how much more room it has, how much it's gonna drop, because this bar's low is $1.40 and that's usually the target. So under 169, stop over whatever the highest point is. It looks like it's 189, so that's a 20-cent stop, and target 140, and hope for target 2 that it goes to 0 almost, basically. That's a really pretty chart. EVH is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So short under 1218, stop over 1289, okay, on the EVH. Groupon gap down and is really bearish gap down. Very sloppy hourly chart. Let's hope it bases for another day or two and then lower under this bar's low, okay? Stop, I would give it the whole thing, or over this bar's high if it can base for a couple more days, and then short on the Groupon. So I don't feel the Groupon is quite ready. PGNY was also a really bearish gap down on, I guess, Wednesday, and triggered a really pretty 1, 2, 3, but it didn't go anywhere. So I like it lower under Friday's low, or maybe catch it on an hourly sell setup. So a sell setup would be would trigger under 1360, and I'd give the stop to 15 or so above the whole thing, just to be safe. Plug looks like it's going to 0. Look at the plug. It had a breakout failure. Here's the breakout failure. Came back in, and now it's looking lower. So under the lows here, plug might be going to 0. I'm not even kidding. It looks really, really bearish on the plug. So we'll be watching it also to scalp because it has a very good level too. The QMCO, I guess it's too thin. Otherwise, that is really pretty. 1, 2, 3, perfect 1, 2, 3. Short under the lows, stop above the doji bar's high, target 1 right here. Not a huge target, but that would be only the initial target, but it's too thin. I think that's way too thin, so I'm gonna actually delete it, okay? The SOWG is a 1, 2, 3, maybe needs another day or two of basing so that the 20 MA on the hourly chart catches up. Short under the lows, stop above the pivot high, looks really good, but I would rather wait for another day or two. And then the TIXT triggered on Friday, but didn't go anywhere. I got some. I'm getting some more. If it can take out 360 or so, basically, that looks really, really good on the weekly chart. Yeah, it needs to take out, ultimately needs to take out the whole base, so 344 ultimately, but just under 360 looks good enough to me. Looks amazing on the weekly chart. All right, I think that's it. So we talked about crypto. We talked about the individual stocks, right? Talked about ARK. Tesla is also a buy setup if you want, but it's an extended buy setup on the Tesla, so I don't love it. And best of luck with your trading next week, or this week, I guess, where it's already Sunday. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy.